It was a bright Saturday afternoon at the downtown McDonald's, the kind of place filled with laughter, chatter, and the smell of fries and burgers. Families crowded the booths, kids screamed for ice cream, and behind it all, a quiet girl named Emily Carter sat alone in the corner booth, carefully unwrapping her cheeseburger. She wasn't there to make friends or attract attention. She just wanted a peaceful lunch. Her long chestnut hair fell in soft waves over her pale pink sweater, and her soft eyes always looked down when people passed by. Emily was the kind of girl no one noticed until someone cruel decided to make her visible. At a nearby table, 3 boys from her school, Jake, Ryan, and Cole, lounged loudly. They were seniors, always laughing too loud, always looking for someone to mock. Emily had seen them before in the cafeteria, joking around, throwing fries, and making girls uncomfortable with their words. She never expected to be their next target. But today, boredom mixed with cruelty. Jake elbowed Ryan and nodded toward her booth. "Yo, isn't that the quiet chick from our English class? The one who never talks?" Ryan grinned. "Yeah, the ghost girl. What's she doing here alone?" Cole smirked, his tone dripping with arrogance, probably crying into her fries. "Let's make her day more interesting." Before she could sense danger, the boys walked over, pretending to grab napkins. Emily kept her eyes low, pretending not to notice. Her heart sped up. She hated attention, especially from people like them. Then Jake leaned close and said mockingly, "Hey, you saving this seat for your imaginary friend?" His tone made nearby customers chuckle faintly. Emily froze. She whispered, "Please, I'm just eating." Ryan pretended to frown. "Oh, she speaks." Cole laughed loudly. "Let's give her something to talk about." And before anyone could react, he scooped a handful of fries dripping with ketchup and tossed them right at her chest. The red streak splattered across her sweater and her pale pink dress underneath. People gasped. Emily's tray clattered as she jumped up in shock. Her hands trembled as she looked down at the mess, tears instantly forming in her eyes. The boys burst into laughter. Jake even took out his phone to record, mumbling, "This is going viral." Ryan added mockingly, "Hey, ketchup queen, how's lunch?" Emily stood frozen, her throat tight, humiliation burning hotter than the ketchup. Every sound in the restaurant faded, except the sound of their cruel laughter. Her dress, one her late mom had given her, was ruined. Something inside her cracked. She'd spent years staying silent, letting people walk over her, always shrinking back. But not today. She slowly lifted her gaze, locking eyes with Jake, her calmness chilling him. There was something different in her look. No tears now, just a quiet fire that made him shift uncomfortably. She spoke softly but clearly, "You shouldn't have done that." Ryan smirked. "Oh yeah, what are you gonna do about it, princess?" Emily took a step forward, her hand brushing the ketchup off. Everyone expected her to run away. But instead she placed her bag gently on the table, took a deep breath, and rolled up her sleeves. The nearby families started whispering, sensing something was about to happen. Emily had been training in taekwondo for 5 years. Not that anyone at school knew. Her late father had taught her every move, telling her one day she'd need to stand up for herself. She'd promised she wouldn't use it unless she had no choice. And now, with her mom's dress stained and laughter echoing around her, she realized this was that moment. Jake laughed nervously. "What, you gonna cry or something?" Emily's voice was calm. "No, I'm gonna end this." Before he could react, she stepped forward with precision. A sharp spinning kick knocked the tray out of Ryan's hands, sending soda splashing across the table. Gasps filled the air. In a blur, she twisted again, this time hitting the edge of Jake's arm as he tried to grab her. His phone flew across the floor, crashing against the counter. Cole tried to step in, but Emily blocked his arm and swept his legs effortlessly, sending him down with a thud. The whole restaurant went silent. The laughter was gone. Even the cashier stopped mid-order. Jake stumbled back, holding his arm, his face pale. "What the? How did you?" Emily didn't even raise her voice. "You don't get to humiliate people just because they're quiet. Not anymore." Ryan tried to laugh it off but failed. The onlookers started whispering. "She took them down. Did you see that? That girl's a beast." They totally deserved it. The manager hurried over, frowning at the mess. But when he saw the ketchup on her dress and the video still playing on Jake's phone, his expression softened. "Miss, are you okay?" Emily nodded, breathing steadily. "I'm fine." Jake, red-faced, tried to apologize. "We were just joking." But before he could finish, An older woman nearby, one who had watched everything, stood up and said loudly, "That's not a joke. That's bullying. You should be ashamed." People around clapped softly, some even recording. The boys looked around in humiliation, realizing the tables had turned. Emily turned to leave, but as she reached the door, she paused and said one last thing. Sometimes the quiet ones are the loudest when pushed too far. Then she walked out into the bright sunlight, leaving everyone stunned behind her. Outside, she sat on the curb, breathing deeply. Her hands still trembled, not from fear, from release. For the first time, she didn't feel small. She felt powerful. She looked down at the stain on her dress and smiled faintly. "Mom," she whispered, "I stood up today." Inside, the boys sat speechless, knowing this video wouldn't make them heroes. It would make them clowns. And by evening, that's exactly what happened. The video leaked online. Not the one Jake tried to film, but another from a customer's phone, showing Emily defending herself like a warrior. Within hours, the clip was trending. Girl fights back at McDonald's after bullies throw food. Teaches them a lesson they'll never forget. At school the next day, whispers followed her everywhere. But this time they weren't mocking. They were filled with respect, awe, and maybe a little fear. Even the teachers had heard. Emily didn't boast. She didn't smile arrogantly. She just walked past them calm and proud. Because she knew now, being quiet doesn't mean being weak. It means choosing peace until someone crosses the line.